What up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google Hangouts? It's your main man, Jim Balls, back with another super official music review. So that's right, Jim Balls here, back with another epic music review. Today we're going to be highlighting the worst albums of 2021. Let's get this presentation going. The worst albums of 2021, bad albums. So here are some important things to remember. This is my opinion. That's right. I still live in America. I'm a free speech warrior. So I can say what I want to, except one word. But this is only the 10 worst albums out there. Don't want the video being longer than it has to be. If your least favorite album isn't on here, I probably didn't listen to it. I usually don't go out of my way to listen to trash music that often, just saying. And if you like any of these albums that's on this list, then your opinion is doo-doo, poo-poo, smelly. So let's just jump right into it. Number 10, we have Coast Modern going mainstream. Coast Modern is a band I actually kind of enjoyed a little bit. Back when I was in high school, probably like sophomore year, high school, junior year, something like that. Back before I really started getting into music more, became an absolute flipping music nerd. But this release was actually kind of bad, and it was sad because I like some of the earlier stuff. Even some of the early stuff was kind of some nice light indie pop I kind of enjoyed, but this was kind of corny. This is kind of just like really bad MGMT, which Coast Modern is pretty influenced by MGMT. I mean, it's kind of good if you live in California and like brainless pop. This is just some super warm, sunshiny, corny, like dude bro pop, basically. The songs on this kind of sound like stuff that end up in like some white woman shopping commercial in California. Maybe like an Etsy commercial. That's what the songs on this sound like, and it gets kind of too anthemic. It kind of sounds like stuff that'd end up in like a commercial. Basically, it's kind of just sounds like California commercial music. This was not a good album, kind of disappointing. Next up, we have Uno the Activist and Calabasas Time to Live. If you know Uno the Activist, he is actually Playboy Cardi's cousin. Kind of crazy. I have no clue who Calabasas is. Maybe they're a producer or something. I don't know. But I like Uno. I've actually listened to some of Uno's music and really enjoyed it. Some of the earlier plug stuff, he kind of started that wave. Even some of his more recent stuff, he's been hopping on more like rage style beats, and that's been pretty good. He has made an album and has made songs that sound like kind of Young Thug inspired, and I kind of like those. So he's made some good rap songs, but on this he decides to go like R&B, contemporary R&B, kind of make some love songs. If you know Chief Keef's Thoughtbreaker, that's where Chief Keef kind of switched up his style, made some kind of pop R&B stuff, and that's what kind of Uno the Activist kind of does on here. Kind of some California warm, sunshiny, tropical R&B beats he hops on, which is totally not his style. He completely flops on this, just falls on his flippin' face on this. This is not a good album from him. Really disappointing from Uno. Next, we have 21 Pilots Scaled and Icy. This is really not a bad album. However, this is the most derivative, uninteresting, boring, bland pop album ever. It's extremely derivative. Everything that is on this album has been done before and way better. Completely meaningless album, incredibly unoriginal, safe pop music. And this was actually a massive letdown because I actually enjoyed Trench, which was their last album. They go a bit more darker. It sounded like they actually kind of nailed their darker pop rap style that they were going for. And on this, they just completely throw that away, don't build on Trench at all, and just make a super safe, happy, upbeat pop album that kind of sucks. So kind of let down. Next up, we have Soulja Boy, Soulja World. This was a bad album. The only good song on this one was the one with Lil B. We gotta give Lil B his credit. One of the most influential hip-hop artists of all time. We love Lil B. But that song with Lil B was good. The rest is bad. It's filled with lame, generic, Migo type beats, trap beats. If you know Soulja Boy, he made more snap, club type music. You know, I'm jacking on and whatever. Crank that. It seems like Soulja Boy's kind of trying to hop in the trap lane. He's been trying to and kind of failing. That's probably why he kind of been falling off. His flows on this are bad. The beat selection are some of the most mediocre generic trap beats ever. Soulja Boy really doesn't flow well. He sounds really awkward on these beats, and the lyrics are complete nothingness. There's really nothing good about this album at all other than the Lil B feature. So Soulja Boy, go back to making club type music or cloud rap or something, you know? Next up, we have the boy JB, Justin Bieber, with Justice. Justin Bieber is one of the best cultural figures out there right now. He's making a huge impact and progressing society forward. If you look at this, racism is evil right here, and you can see him wearing dreads. So Justin Bieber is basically ending racism, if you guys didn't know. So this is a really painful generic pop album. If you know, the Martin Luther King interlude is extremely awkward and thrown in for basically no reason. This is basically just a bunch of nothingness, fake progressive stuff on this album. I don't know why that Martin Luther King interlude was added in there. It is completely like out of context, doesn't make any sense at all being in there. Justin Bieber just seems extremely out of touch. If he's the one who added it in there, or whatever record label he signed to added it, decided to, just completely out of touch. And Peaches is extremely annoying. Every time I hear that song, I hate it, and it gets more annoying on every single listen. I don't know why people like that song. I really dislike Justin Bieber's pop music, honestly. Not good stuff. Next up, we have Drake, Certified Lover Boy. The main thing is that it's just too long. I mean, if you pick and choose a random song off this and play it, I'll probably be like, you know what, it's probably okay. But listening to just consistent mid for like an hour and a half, which is this entire thing, it just gets too long, too painful, too boring. The best songs on this project don't even sound like Drake songs. Like the Project Pat song, which is just a Memphis cut, which is not Drake's lane at all. Or the Travis song, it kind of just sounds like a Travis song with the Drake feature. So, I mean, the best songs on this aren't even Drake songs, essentially. There's some terrible lyrics, like, you say you a lesbian girl, me too? Like, come on, this is literally the fucking corniest shit ever. Way Too Sexy is a horrible premise that... Way Too Sexy could have been a good song if it was themed about pretty much anything else. Bro just says, I'm way too sexy, and that's the whole premise of the song, is I'm sexy. Like, how corny could you get, bro? Also, we didn't even talk about the album cover right here. Worst album cover of the year by far. And Drake is probably top 3 corniest rappers. Only people I can think of cornier than him are Tom McDonald and some other dude who's going to be later on this list, so... Next up, we have Ashniko, Demi-Devil, number 4. Ashniko just doesn't make music for me. I'm just going to say that. I really just find her really annoying, and it's just not good stuff. If you like it, good for you, but this is not my stuff. Her voice kind of sucks. It gets grating over time. The beats on this are bad. At first, I think I liked the first beat on this album. The first song I kind of liked, but as it kept going, the production just sounded worse and worse and worse. Then there's the terrible bar, she cute kawaii hentai boobies that excites me. Like, are we supposed to take that lyric genuinely? Because it sounds like some bar some 13-year-old meme rapper would do over like some anime sampled trap beat, and then it'd have like Dragon Ball Z animated music video in the background. This is just not good. Then there's Later Boy, which is a cover or remix of like Skater Boy, which is awful. This is just not good. I mean, I'm all about LGBTQ representation and pro-feminist stuff, but I feel like this is not the way to do it. This is kind of cringe bad stuff. So next up, we have Trippie Redd and Travis Barker, Neon Shark versus Pegasus Deluxe, presented by Travis Barker. An unnecessary long title. I'm just going to say that Travis Barker, he needs to stop making music. 99% of the stuff he's been putting out has been trash. He's been basically the forefront, the face of kind of repopularizing like mainstream pop punk, and it's just all been awful. Just taking these trap artists, these mainstream artists, and making them, just kind of forcing them to do pop punk that's extremely mainstream sounding, really awful, just terrible stuff. Really, the worst pop punk I've ever heard has been the revival stuff being forced on us by Travis Barker. And this is kind of disappointing because When MGK released his pop punk album, I really thought that was bad. And then there was a Trippy feature on it. And I was thinking, man, I wish Trippy Red was on these beats instead, was making pop punk instead, because it'd be better than MGK. But man, was I wrong, because this pop punk album from Trippy Red was terrible. Basically, there are a couple of choruses that are good, and that's the only positive thing I can say. The production is extremely mediocre and bland across the board. Trippy sounds really awkward on many of these songs, and which is disappointing because Trippy is sometimes good. I put that he's good, but I meant to say sometimes good because he is sometimes trash too. But he's made some really good songs, and his album from later this year, the one with all like the rage style beats, I can't even remember the name of it, but that was actually a really good album. I really enjoyed that. That was good Trippy Red right there. But this is bad Trippy Red. I hope he doesn't make this style of music again, because this is not his style. This is not good. Flip You, Travis Barker. Next up, we have Dax Pain Paints Paintings, who's probably the second corniest rapper out there behind Tom McDonald. This is the worst album title of the year. I mean, Pain Paints Paintings. I mean, come on. Even the title of your album is corny as shit, bro. And I think this proves that Eminem influence is a bad thing. I know when we talk about the best rappers of all time, whether it's like Jay-Z, Nas, Lil Wayne, whoever you want to say is your best rapper of all time, but I think influence is definitely meaningful when you're talking about the best rappers of all time. However, I think if you influence other rappers to make trash music, then influence is a bad thing. So when you talk about Eminem as the best rapper of all time, the influence he's had, when he's influenced trash music like Dax right here, then influence is a bad thing. Okay? So basically Dax makes conscious hip hop, but it's like the opposite of conscious, because he's saying like the opposite of what's actually going on, you know? This was a really painful listen. This was not good, and why is he always shirtless? Like, someone needs to buy Dax a shirt, bro. The album cover is also awful, too. I haven't even looked at it for this long, and then what is up with all these little Dax, like, coming out of him? Like, what is this supposed to represent? This was not good. Dax is, like, some of the worst rap out there. But number one, this is the worst album of the year by far. This is the worst album I've heard in a really long time. Maybe the worst album I've ever heard. We have the F slurs. We don't give a flip about stuff. This was a painful listen. This album was made by Lil Darky and like some of his friends, I guess. If you don't know Lil Darky, he's basically the combination of XXXTentacion and Pink Guy. He takes some of the trap metal and then rap rock that X did, and then combined it with the goofy, meme, ironic, jokey stuff of Pink Eye, and basically like fuse that together. And the thing is, I really don't like XXXTentacion's music, and I really don't like Pink Eye's music, so I really don't like Lil Darky's music. This album is just completely offensive. It's the opposite of what music should be. Music should be something that's very genuine, emotional, conveys some sort of meaning at all, some sort of message, meaningful in any way at all, but this is not. This is nothing. This is complete nothingness. You can't even enjoy this like on an ironic level because it's not even funny. There's just nothing here. It's complete nothingness. There's like fart sound effects. There's sounds of dudes pooping into a toilet on this. It's just complete nothingness. It's not even funny. You can't enjoy this on any level. Like, I don't think anyone can enjoy this if you're not a 13-year-old and think the funniest thing is saying the N-word. Like, this is basically the audience of this album. This is absolute trash. This is easily the worst album of the year. So, that's it for Jim Ball's 2021 music reviews. We're gonna get into maybe other music reviews in the future. I don't know what I'm doing. But, Jim Ball's, goodbye.